Hi guys, how you going? Sunday afternoon here, and I was about to go to the tip. Sorry, a message just came up on my phone there, and anyway, I thought to myself, because I work as a wedding photographer and done so for about 17 years, and I thought, oh look, I might put a little short video to help brides out there and grooms on your wedding timings, finding out how long everything takes. Because often, a client will try and sort of work out, well, we need a photographer for 6 hours or 8 hours or 10 hours or what have you. So I thought I'd try and help you. So if you're doing a full day's coverage, you generally want to start off, I usually start off at the groom's home. The reason we do the groom's home, because if you go to the bride's home, she doesn't want to get ready. The bird just flew past. Get ready right away, whereas the boys are quick and easy, and you can just sort of they can get dressed and then undressed, and it's all done and dusted. So groom's home, we normally sort of spend around about 45 minutes, and you start off with doing, I sort of like to try and tell a story of the day from start to finish. So when you've got your images, that you can see that whole emotional showcase or story of everything coming together for you. So usually about 45 minutes of the boys. We'll start off with a small product type shots, and then obviously the groomsmen together, and the boys on their own, and perhaps the boys together. Sometimes maybe a parent, but often they're not dressed, so we sort of don't worry about that. Sort of go with the flow. Then moving on to the bride's home, well, that's a bit more of a bigger ordeal. First half an hour is usually spent again doing all the little product shots, so things like shoes, flowers, jewelry, the dress hanging up. Then the bride will slowly get dressed, and you want to do the buttoning up at the back of the dress. Then all the bridesmaids together, full length of the bride, all those sorts of components. So those things take quite a lot of time. And one big thing is hair and makeup. Look, it's very important to make sure that you look fantastic, but I always try and educate my brides to be that you want to make sure you've got enough time for photos. So try and make sure that your hair and makeup is finished in time for your photos. So maybe the first half hour or so, there goes that bird again. First half hour or so after me arriving, and I didn't get to the point of telling you how long I spent at the bride's home. About an hour and a half generally. I always want to try and make sure we get to the ceremony half an hour before that starts, so we can go and look at lighting, work out where we want to set up, talk with the priest or the celebrant, all those sorts of things. You need lots of time. Your ceremony usually, if it's, let's say it's outside, it may go for around about usually half an hour or so. Then after that you'll do group shots, so that will take another, I usually allow about half an hour generally. So there's an hour gone. Then for your location shoot, now depending on where you are, if you're on site, your location shoot you can use right where you are, so you don't have to factor in any travel time. But if you do have to factor in travel time, that's something that needs to be organised. And like for instance, if you're in the city, there are things like parking and the photographer getting their gear back to the car, all those sorts of things. But let's say we're at a winery down here on the beautiful Mornington Peninsula. We usually like to have around about 45 minutes to an hour or thereabouts. I generally try and suggest to my brides to take them to some places that are a little bit different, little bit offbeat, so that you can really absorb the atmosphere of the peninsula. So yeah, so you might allow an hour there, or if you want to go to 2 locations, you might allow longer. Then when we get back to the reception, often the bride and groom want to sort of have some downtime. So during that time is where I think it's really good to get those candid shots of the guests mingling, interacting, just being themselves. You can get some really nice quirky moments that, with a long zoom lens, they don't even know you're there, and they're the shots that I really like, that the bride and groom afterwards go, oh, I didn't realise that you captured that, and it takes the focus off the bride and groom. So then moving on from there, it really depends on whether you want, sometimes we'll shoot for like maybe only the first half hour or so, because once people start eating and so forth, the photos are not, you know, not as creative. But look, everybody's different, so we generally try and tailor a package to suit each and every person. So I hope those times sort of help you. So just to recap, we have groom's home 45 minutes, bride's home about an hour and a half, your ceremony half an hour, then your group photos another half hour, and then to your location shoot, and then whatever you're doing back at reception. So hopefully that kind of helps you guys to help pre-plan and give you a bit of information. Quite windy here. Anyway, I've got to get back into my Sunday and do my fatherly duties. No wedding today, so I thought, I might try and put this little video together. All right, have a great day, guys. See ya.